Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Finance with Avern. In this video, I'm giving you a detailed and concise review and overview of the Fidelity Youth Account. If you're looking for a way for your teen to start learning about investing and actually take action in the market, then you're in the right place. The Fidelity Youth Account is a real investment account where teens can buy stocks, ETFs, exchange traded funds, and mutual funds, all with the help and support of a parent or guardian, and also on their own. This account isn't just about learning in theory. It allows teens to learn about investing within the app using built-in tools and educational resources, and then practice what they've learned by actually investing in the market. The earlier you start, the better. And with the Fidelity Youth Account, teens can jump right in, grow their money, and gain experience with real-world investing from day one. And with this Fidelity Youth Account, yes, I've done a lot of research on it, and I'm giving you the information that I've discovered with my research. But not only that, I have real-life experience with this account because I opened this Fidelity Youth Account with one of my sons that is a teenager, and he's been using it. And I'll tell you about some of the investments we made with it. But that's it for the intro. Let's jump into the main features and benefits of this account. And one of the main features and benefits of this account is that there are no fees with the Fidelity Youth Account. No monthly maintenance fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no commissions on trades. Yes, you can make multiple trades throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. There's no fees associated with buying or selling or withdrawing any of that with this account. This makes it an ideal choice for young investors who are just starting out and want to get their feet wet without worrying about hidden costs, eating away into their savings or investments. Another great benefit and feature of this account is that it gives teens the ability to invest in real companies. Yes, most US stocks, Fidelity mutual funds, some exchange traded funds, ETFs, REITs, real estate investment trusts, and some international equities, which is an excellent opportunity to start building a diverse portfolio. Whether they're interested in tech stocks, retail stocks, growth stocks, large cap stocks, small cap stocks, index funds, energy stocks, any of that, there's a wide array of options for them to invest in with this account. And another benefit of that is that you can buy fractional shares with this account. You know how some of the big tech stocks and various other stocks trade at, hundreds of dollars a share. Amazon's at what, $200 something a share. Microsoft's over $400 a share. Apple's around $200 something a share. All of that, which can kind of scare some people off, including teens saying, oh, I don't have enough money to buy a share of that. I wish I could. You can still buy into these companies, even if you don't have that full amount to buy a whole share. You could buy partial amounts of stocks and ETFs with this account without any kind of fee associated with it. My son, who has this Fidelity Youth Account, is an example of this. I gave him some money, I give him money for different things, birthdays, Christmas, no cavities, things like that. And after we opened this account, one day when the market was open, because he actually wanted to start investing in it a little bit sooner, it just so happened to be outside of some of the times where the market was open. So, that was a learning opportunity. These are the times and days when the market is open. Now, once we were actually able to invest when the market was open, I told him about, different companies, ETFs, things like that. It's a great learning opportunity. I laid out a few different ETFs and stocks that I think he would be interested in buying. So first off, we invested in VOO, which is pretty much like the S&P 500. Wide variety of stocks in that, very diverse. It's pretty much like you're buying the stock market in a sense. VOO, great ETF. I own it myself, actually, personally. And some people own SPY. That's pretty much like another version of VOO, S&P 500 ETF. And VOO is trading around $559 a share right now. I think it was less than that when we invested in it. But, no, we didn't have $500 or something in that account to buy a whole share. We put like $20, $30 towards it, something like that, and bought a fractional amount. Another ETF we bought was the QQQ, Invesco, big tech companies, NASDAQ. We invested like, 10, 20 or something dollars of that partial amount, just kind of starting them off, getting, experience and involved in actually investing and starting off. And we put, a fractional amount towards that. Then I thought, okay, let's get into some actual individual companies and start kind of building on that and teaching how you can own a partial amount of companies that you use, weekly or monthly or daily, that you can see online, that you can see physically, things like that. First stock we bought was Amazon. Yes. So Amazon, it is a company that, of course, a lot of people use. My teen is familiar with Amazon, shops on there sometimes. And I thought, and it's a great growth stock. So Amazon is trading around $200 something a share. We bought a partial amount of Amazon. I think it's like $20 something, something around $10, $20, $30, something like that, just to start off, and you can build upon that, multiple fractional amounts. You don't have to just do it one time. You can invest $20 here, $30 there, $10 there, $50 there, $100 there. Fractional amounts will build on that. Then eventually, you'll have, half a share or 1 share or 1.5 shares, 3 shares, and so forth and so forth. And the next stock we bought a partial amount of was Nike. Nike is been beaten down for sure. I showed them the charts of that. You kind of see how it's been beaten down, which is definitely different than the chart of Amazon, which has just been gains and growth and just going on the up to the right, trajectory. Whereas Nike's been beaten down, but the son who has this account likes the brand of Nike, has Nike shoes, Nike jerseys, Nike shirts, things like that. So I want to say okay, you like to buy the Nike clothes, things like that. Let's buy some of the actual company. Let's start to teach that process. Let's get into owning assets, not just things and materials, but maybe room for opportunity with some growth in that stock. And so maybe trading at a value. So we put some amount in a Nike, a partial amount. So yes, that was the one thing I want to highlight with this account is the ability to not just buy, whole shares and whole ETF amounts and things like that. You can buy partial fractional shares with this account as well. Now, there are some things that teens cannot invest in within this account, and that include third-party mutual funds, corporate bonds, municipal fixed income securities, certificate of deposits, CDs, treasuries, convertibles, leveraged and inverse ETFs, cryptocurrencies, FILI insurance products, penny stocks, which are stocks valued at $5 a share or less, in foreign currencies. And also additionally, teens cannot engage in options or margin trading or short selling or participate in any company IPOs. So there are some limitations you could say with the teen youth account, but with someone starting and investing, and especially a teen at that age, this account covers and the main aspects of investing. Now, also another great thing this account has is research tools. Teens can use the Fidelity's research tools and educational resources to help them make informed investment choices. These tools cover all kind of information within the app, market news, performance analysis, but they're designed to help the young investors learn as they grow. They have it kind of catered towards more like teens, where it's not a bombardment of information. Now, some people might want that as adults. Some teens might even want that. Some teens may see the app and think they may want more. Some teens may see the app and think it may be a little bit too much, but it's pretty much a well-rounded amount. For me, looking at it from an adult's perspective, as thinking like, how would a teen think about this? I think it's very well designed with the information that's on there, because they also have sections within the app that are like, little videos and little quizzes and things like that, where you can, you learn about the investing within the app and put it to practice with quizzes and continuations of educational sources, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, just kind of a progression of that. And you can earn rewards as you progress within the app. So it's actually like a gamification kind of within the app with the educational resources and tools in the app to teach everything from basic investing concepts like stocks versus bonds to advanced topics like portfolio diversification. And the idea of this is to empower teens with knowledge so they can make informed decisions on their own. Because, the more you know about something, the more comfortable you feel actually doing that something. You're more sure, you're more confident about something, you understand it. You may also become more interested in it and like it more. But then you're going to be investing more because you'll have that foundation of knowledge behind you that'll help you make decisions and keep moving forward on this path of investing. And an important feature of this account is the app itself, because that's going to be the main way a lot of people actually use the account. And the UI, the user interface for the app, is very nice. It's broken down into different sections, including, an investing section, a transaction section, an earning section, a learning section. You can see it there on the bottom of the app right there on the screenshots. It's a nice app, very well thought out, and it's not too cluttered. There's a good bit of information there throughout the app, but I don't find it too cluttered and everything. Once you kind of get the feel of it and actually use the app, it becomes easier to use it. It's a different user interface than the traditional brokerage accounts with Fidelity that I have, my individual account and my Roth IRA with Fidelity. So it does have that distinction where you see it and okay, that's the Fidelity Youth app. It has that look going on for it. But it is a nice app, and definitely one of the main features for this account is the ability to do everything that you want to do for this account within the app, whether that be actually investing in stocks, ETFs, or mutual funds, transferring money into the account, earning, rewards within the account, learning about investing or securities within the account. So it keeps you within the app to do those processes, and it's nice the way it's laid out. And it's available on the Apple App Store and the Google Play App Store. Very similar looking app on both of the app stores. So if you have, if you're using it on the Apple App Store and then maybe you get an Android phone, you start using it over there or vice versa, it's not going to be a big change as far as how it looks. So yeah, the Fidelity Youth app is nice, separate from the Fidelity app. And I do like that they are separated like that. Gives them some distinction and makes, the Fidelity Youth account more of its own thing. Now, with the account, there is parental oversight. The parent or guardian can monitor the account activity, track investments, adjust settings, but the team themselves actually have the ultimate control over the decisions they make within the account with what they're buying and what they're selling. So they have that control with the account, and you can see their account as a parent or guardian within your Fidelity account, but they cannot see your account. And I actually, on my account for Fidelity, I've actually hid my son's account with the Fidelity Youth account because I don't want to get the balance of that within my balance, because it shows you like a total balance of your accounts. And, I want to see my balance of my individual brokerage account and my Roth account without the Fidelity Youth account. So I've hid it so it won't kind of throw me off from the amount that I have in my account. Now, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can see it all together if you want to, or you can hide it if you want to. But that's what you can do within your account. And then for the teens, for the Fidelity Youth account, they just see their account. They don't see your account. There's no option to hide it or not hide it because they don't see it at all. So there is a distinction between that for sure. Now, one of the best features of the Fidelity Youth account is that any uninvested cash sitting in the account that's not invested somewhere is automatically placed into a money market fund with Fidelity that earns yield, interest. This is a great way to make sure your team's money is still working for them, even if it's not invested in a specific stock or ETF or mutual fund. So a money market fund is basically like a mutual fund that invests in short-term securities, debts, cash, and cash equivalents. It's considered a low risk type of investment, but it's not guaranteed a certain, amount. It's a low risk type of investment because typically cash and short-term securities and things like that aren't going to default or go away. Government treasury, treasury bills and things like that a money market fund would typically be invested in are pretty safe ways to earn some yield on something. They're not as volatile as, individual stocks and ETFs even. So the Fidelity Youth account has uninvested cash in the account in the Fidelity Government Money Market Fund. And as of now, currently of recording this video in January 2025, the 7-day yield on this account is at 4.13%. So that's basically like a high yield savings account. That 4.13% yield is a nice yield to earn on your money for sure. I would consider that a high yield savings account type of yield. So the money in the Fidelity Youth account would be earning a nice yield just sitting there and growing. And it's going to do what? Yes, it's going to compound. The interest that you gain is going to gain interest on it and compound. Definitely motivated to use some of that money to, buy investment stocks and ETFs and mutual funds, but you can let some of that money sit there and just earn some of that yield in the money market fund for sure. It is nice to see, like, if you haven't really touched the account in a little while and you see you have your money just sitting there in that cash management account, but you see it kind of grow, that is a nice thing to see as well. It's not just standing there stagnant. It's growing some little change here and there, with that yield, depending on how much you got. It could be a few cents or a few dollars. So it's pretty much considered like a safe place to park some cash that's easily accessible when the teen is ready to invest it somewhere. So it's like you have some money in the account. You don't have that rush of feeling, okay, I need to invest it, immediately, because it's just going to sit there and just not do anything. It's going to sit there and put itself to work for you in that money market fund, but it's still going to be available for you and easily accessible to invest elsewhere whenever you want to. So it is another lesson that could be taught and encourage teens to start thinking about managing cash and balancing risk. And speaking of that cash management feature of this account, the Fidelity Youth account also includes a debit card that's tied to the cash management account if you want. It's not required. You don't have to get the debit card if you don't want to, but you can if you want. And it's tied to the cash that's uninvested sitting in the Fidelity Youth account, which makes it easy for teens to spend their money on everyday purchases if they like, and is linked directly to that cash management portion of the account. And there's no typical fees associated with this account. No monthly maintenance fees, no minimum balance requirements, which is a big plus, of course. And there's also parental controls with this debit card where parents can set up spending limits and monitor transactions. So this debit card is a way that you can actually use money that's in your Fidelity Youth account, just actually purchasing. So it's another lesson that could be taught with balancing spending versus saving versus investing. Is it worth buying this, or do I want to invest in this? You get some money for allowance or good grades or something like that. And maybe you want to put, 50% for kind of spending, 25% to kind of sit in the cash management account, that money market fund, and earn some yield, and then like 25% to go directly in the market in some ETFs or stocks. Now, another nice feature with this account is the security associated with it, because the Fidelity Youth account is secured with the Fidelity Customer Protection Guarantee. So if there's any kind of losses from unauthorized activity, some kind of fraudulent activity or something like that with the Fidelity Youth account, then Fidelity would reimburse you for those losses. It is covered. It is one of their covered accounts, which you can read more about under their Fidelity Customer Protection Guarantee. And also, like other brokerage accounts with Fidelity, the Fidelity Youth account is covered by the SIPC, the Security Investor Protection Act. And that includes the money market funds that are held in the brokerage, since they are considered securities. So the money within the Fidelity Youth account app would be safeguarded by the SIPC, which the SIPC isn't like the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which covers depositors' money at various insured banks. That is different than that. Basically, under a situation where like Fidelity somehow went bankrupt or had some kind of financial trouble and customer assets were going missing or something like that, then the SIPC would oversee the liquidation process. So in summary, with the benefits section, the Fidelity Youth account is a solid choice for any young person looking to begin their financial journey. With no fees, the ability to invest in a variety of assets in fractional amounts, simple parental oversight, and the added benefit of earning yield on invested cash through the money market fund, this account could provide a great starting point for your team. So now let's get into some information about how to actually open the Fidelity Youth account. Opening a Fidelity Youth account is a straightforward process. It only takes a few minutes to get set up. Now, eligibility requirements. Now, for the age of the teen that this account is for, they must be between 13 to 17 years old. So basically a teenager that's under 18 years old, because once the teen turns 18, this account changes some. And I'll tell you about that. Once the teen turns 18, they'll automatically gain full control of their account, giving them the sense of financial independence and responsibility. At that point, the account will transition to a regular brokerage account under their name. But of course, you can still guide them, and I, would still do that myself, but be a little bit more hands off on it maybe if you want to. So yeah. Now, with eligibility, the parent or guardian must be involved in this process. The teen just can't open this account by themselves. The parent or guardian needs to be at least 18 years old, and also the parent or guardian has to have a Fidelity account of their own in order to open a Fidelity Youth account. If you don't have a Fidelity account yourself as a parent or guardian, you can open one on the same day that you open the Fidelity Youth account. So if you don't have a Fidelity account yourself, you'll need to open a brokerage account for yourself, for a Roth IRA or traditional IRA or individual, investment account, something like that with Fidelity yourself in order to have a Fidelity Youth account. Now, if you already have a Fidelity account yourself as your brokerage or, for your retirement, something like that, then yeah, you can open a Fidelity Youth account. However, if you have a 401k through your employer with Fidelity, something like that, then you still would need to have your own Fidelity account in order to open a Fidelity Youth account. So you just can't have like a 401k with your employer through Fidelity and then open a Fidelity Youth account. You'll need to have your own Fidelity account in your name, disassociated from your employer in order to open the actual Fidelity Youth account as well. In opening the account, you can do that on the Fidelity website or download the Fidelity app from the App Store to start the process of filling out the application. And you fill out the application online. Both the parent and teen will need to provide, some basic personal information like name, address, date of birth, and social security numbers, which is pretty much a standard for any kind of financial account, which helps verify identity and eligibility. And of course, there's going to be account terms, privacy policies, and other disclosures that you'll need to agree to, typically with opening an account like this. Basically kind of disclosures with financial accounts that you'll have to agree to open the account. And then after you set up the account, you can fund it in various ways. And I'll tell you about that in the next section of how to fund the account. And then once everything is filled out with the account, you can finalize the application, and Fidelity will typically send an email confirming that the account has been successfully created on the same day. The parent or guardian will also receive a notification to let them know that the account is ready for use. Now, when I opened the account, it was ready that same day, like a few minutes after, filling out the application and everything, got the confirmation email, and it was set and ready to go. Had the login process, has its own login, username and password, things like that. And then it sent a code to the phone number, which we had set up my phone number for it to send the code to as an extra security measure to log in. So you could do that, or you could, set it to remember the device and have it going that way with login. So, that's going to be up to you how you want to handle the login process. But yeah, just to let you know, simple, quick process. We did it in the same day. So I already had a Fidelity account myself with an individual stock portfolio and, Roth IRA. So I didn't have to open up a Fidelity account myself. We just opened the Fidelity Youth account, and it did not take long at all. A few minutes for the application and, a couple minutes to receive the email confirmation that the account is successfully created. So in summary, for the Fidelity Youth account, the teen must be between 13 and 17 years old, and the parent or guardian must be involved in the sign-up process. The process itself is quick and done entirely online, and once the account is set up, both the parent and teen can start the process of learning and exploring investing and growing their money in the stock market. And then once the teen turns 18, they get full control over their account. Now, how to fund the account? Very important. In order to actually invest, you have to have funds in the account. So the main option to get money into this account is through bank transfers with linking a bank account. So that's the easiest way to fund the Fidelity Youth account, is to link an external bank account. Whether you bank with Bank of America or Ally or SoFi or Capital One or whoever it is, you can link your bank account to this Fidelity Youth account to, deposit money into the Fidelity Youth account for your teen. Now, this process is done by providing, account numbers and routing numbers of a checking or savings account. You've likely done this before with linking external bank accounts to your actual bank account that you may link this one to, or to other accounts, or to your investment accounts, and so forth. So once the account is linked, you can easily transfer money into the Fidelity account. And so with the bank account transfers, there's no fees associated with that. Now also, you can transfer from an existing Fidelity account. If you or your teen already have another Fidelity account, and of course, you'll need to have one in order to open this account. So yeah, you'll have one. So if you have an account like you got an account like that personal brokerage or retirement account, you could transfer funds between accounts without any kind of fees. So if you got some money in your investment account with Fidelity and you want to transfer some of that over to your Fidelity Youth account for your teen, you can do that as well. Similar to the bank account transfer, but it's just going to be from your Fidelity account to another Fidelity account. Another easy way to fund this account is through mobile check deposit. Whether the teen has a check in their name or you want to write a check to your teen, that check can be deposited via the mobile check deposit feature within the Fidelity Youth app. Just have your teen navigate to the transact section on the Fidelity mobile app and then select deposit a check. Then they'll snap a photo of the front and the back of the check, follow the steps, and submit it once they're done. Very simple way to deposit funds within this account. Also, with the Fidelity Youth account, you can fund it through digital payment apps like Venmo or PayPal. Now, these apps require a routing number and account number online through fidelity.com. Navigating to the accounts and trade section, select the authorized account for your teen, and then getting the routing number information right there. You can also find this information within the Fidelity mobile app. Just log on to the Fidelity mobile app, tap accounts at the bottom of the phone screen, select the authorized account for your teen, go towards the bottom, and you'll see the section that has the account and routing number. So you can obtain that information and input it within Venmo or PayPal to transfer money that way. And here are the steps right here laid out for transferring money from the Cash App, from PayPal, and from Venmo. So for Cash App, you just go to the Cash App mobile app, click Link Bank into the Fidelity Youth account debit card number. Alternatively, at that stage, you can click No Card and then choose Fidelity and enter the required information that they're asking for. And then via PayPal, you can open up the PayPal app, choose banks and cards, tap that plus sign, choose debit card, and link a card manually with entering your card number. You can also use Venmo within the Venmo mobile app. Go to settings, payment methods, select add bank or card, choose bank, and then choose manual verification and enter the Fidelity routing number and account numbers. Follow the steps. And then within, they say 24 hours or so, you'll see 2 small micro deposits. It's just a way of verifying that you have access to log into that account. Then you'll verify that information and have it linked that way. There are a few other ways you could fund the Fidelity Youth account using the Fidelity Youth account and routing number, or the debit card that you can obtain with the Fidelity Youth account. Now, another way you can fund the account is through direct deposits from the parents. Now, parents can set up direct deposits from their own checking or savings account into the Fidelity Youth Account. So that is a way that you can kind of set up, whether it be monthly or even a one-time contribution, you can set up that with your checking or savings account to go into the Fidelity Youth Account. Now, you can also use gift cards that you don't want to fund the Fidelity Youth Account. Fidelity is teamed up with Card Cash, which is a third-party company that allows teens to exchange gift cards for cash. And so the money will be deposited directly into the teen's Fidelity Youth Account. And Card Cash, the third-party company, has their own terms and conditions and everything outlined in the app. So, you can read through those and see what you're going to agree to and everything. But that is another way to fund this account, which is kind of neat. During the holidays and birthdays, your teen may get multiple gift cards from some places they may want to use, and from some places they're kind of like, I don't shop there anymore. You know how teens are. I shopped there last year, but now I don't. I shopped there last month. It's not cool anymore or whatever. So you can use the gift card and fund the Fidelity Youth Account that way. So that's a neat feature as well. Multiple ways to fund the Fidelity Youth Account. There's another neat feature within this account where the teen can request money through the app. So the teen can request money from their parents within the Fidelity Youth app. And requests can only be fulfilled by the parent whose eligible retail brokerage account, the Fidelity account, and the Fidelity Cash Management account is linked to the teen's Fidelity Youth account. And so the parents must first complete the account linking process and download the Fidelity Youth app before they can transfer money. And the teen will enter the dollar amount that they are requesting and can include a message telling parents what they're asking for. Maybe they'll even say, hey, I want to buy some more of Microsoft stock or, Target stock or whichever stock, something like that. Or something like, hey, remember those A's I got on my report card or something. But yeah, a link will be generated to text to their parent. And if the parent decides to honor the request in the Fidelity Youth app, once the transfer has been sent, the transaction details can be reviewed in the activity section of the app. Now, generally, there is a maximum deposit limit of no more than $30,000 that can be added to the account per calendar year. So if you have more than $30,000 added to this account annually, the parent and teen will be notified to remove additional funds. Now, as far as withdrawal limits, the debit card itself has daily spending limits, both individual and gross daily for transactions and cash withdrawals. However, there is no limit on the withdrawals by other means like via check, EFT, or wire. So if you have withdrawals from the Fidelity account to the teen's bank account somewhere, you can do withdrawals that way, and there's no kind of limit on that, just limits associated with the debit card. Parents and guardians cannot withdraw money from their teen's account. Only the Fidelity Youth account owner, the teen, can withdraw money from the account. And that's a wrap on my review and overview of the Fidelity Youth Account. This account is an awesome way for teens to start learning about investing, improve upon investing, take action in the market, and grow their money. The earlier you start, the more your money can work for you, and the Fidelity Youth Account provides the perfect setup to get that momentum going. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more finance tips, education, and reviews and overviews and more. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Take care.